In 1961, new Columbia Central High School opened its doors on Lyon Parkway. For the last 53 years, it has served as the flagship school for Maury County. When it was built, the large gymnasium with its signature curved roof, a 1,000-seat auditorium, and the fresh classrooms were all visible signs of a dedication to the future students of Maury County. Today, Central has lost some of its initial luster. While the performance of the students and the faculty is still excellent, the conditions of the building, sadly, are not. The core facilities of New Central have remained virtually untouched for half a century. Roger White, principal of Central High School, tells us about the school, the state of the building, and the great things going on inside the building in spite of its conditions.
Hi, I'm Roger White, principal of Central High School. Proud 1983 graduate of Central High School. I have been at Central High School for 26 years. I've been a principal of this school for 2 years. As far as I know, this is what I know. I know purple and gold. And I think we do amazing things with what we've been given inside this building. Some of the great things that go on inside this building with our students, our clubs and so forth, is our students, we have another National Merit finalist this year. That means a guaranteed scholarship money for that student. He will be attending the University of Alabama. Also several commended students, and I know that next year we'll have another National Merit finalist based on scores that I've already seen. Our AP scores are above the globe average, which means that about 63% of our kids that take the AP test are getting college credit, which is impressive. We have one of the best art departments around. We've had more artwork put on or on display at the Frisk Center than anybody else has in the state of Tennessee. We've always had a championship band. Our chorus is phenomenal. We continue to do outstanding things in our athletic teams. Football has been in the state championship game throughout the last 5 years. Baseball has had a state runner-up. Bowling's won a couple of championships, and the girls bowling program has had a couple of runner-ups as well, and a state championship. Career Tech, our construction core classes, have built another house. Our hosted department continues to pump out future nurses left and right. In fact, this past spring we had a Central High School student give the commencement speech at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. We also have numerous kids that leave this school starting out as sophomores in college instead of freshmen, which saves several $100s. And the reason or how those kids got that, we're taking classes out at Columbia State, which is just a half a mile down the road, and of course their additional AP classes that they have taken as well. We have a phenomenal staff, in fact the best staff in the state of Tennessee, in my opinion. They're willing to work hard and do whatever it takes, do those extracurricular activities after school, even though they're not getting paid for it in many cases. They truly care about the kids. Just a lot of good things that go on inside this building, despite what we have to deal with on a daily basis, building-wise. This is an example of what you'll see in several classrooms. Pipes that are outdated. You've got tiling down here at the bottom that's not been replaced for years. You've got several places of where the tiles in the floor have not been replaced. You've got issues up here along the wall, but this is actually one of the better classrooms, but you're going to see these in several classrooms where these conduits or pipes are outdated or no longer used. This is the girls' PE dressing room. Every girl that has taken PE at Central High School, and they all have been in this dressing room at some point in time. Along with our our female athletic teams, this is the only dressing room they have. Basketball, our girls' basketball has a dressing room, but all the other teams must use this one dressing room to dress for practice. This is the main gym. We've had a lot of exciting events take place in this gym over the years, but now it's getting to the point that it doesn't meet codes in some areas. The steps are not in codes, the railings are not in code. You can see the units that supply air to this room on both sides are very loud and squeaky. In fact, to turn on those two units, one set of unit has to be turned on in another hallway, and the other set has to have its own hallway just to turn them on. So the electricity-wise, they're not connected together. Also at the very top, you can start to see several cracks that have started to form along the wall, the back wall, and you can see them actually on both sides of the gym. This is the art room. We've had the luxury of having more art displayed at the Frisk Center than any other school. But these rooms are getting to be too small. Every student has to have a fine art credit, and a lot of our kids do choose to take art. In this room alone, we've started to see major cracks that have started taking place up here around the door and down the sides of the door. We've also got above where condensation, where it gets so warm in here, the pipes and the warmth of the air has caused condensation to occur along the ceiling, and we've got a long row of spots that have appeared on the building. This kitchen serves about 1,300 kids a day, and there are several issues in this kitchen, everything from size to the ceiling, as you can see, to the old electrical panels, to outdated stoves. The cafeteria itself needs to be bigger. We have to use 4 lunches to get all our kids through. A lot of schools only take 2, maybe 3 lunches to get their kids through, and that's wasting 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes of instructional time. This is the math hall. What's starting to show up more and more throughout the building is major paint chips that you see here, and you can see at least 4 layers of paint that have occurred. This hallway is also too small. It's got about 12 or 13 classrooms. It's very small, and when kids leave the class, it's very crowded. And of course, they have to come to this intersection that's in the main hall, and you know, it's a crowding issue here in the main hall area. There's also some classrooms down here that have got some things in it that need to be taken out, some old pipes, old conduit, old units, old thermostats, and so forth. This is a mass comm classroom. This mass comm department has been voted the #1 student newscast in the United States. And this is an example of not enough space. We have several departments, several extracurricular activities that don't have enough space. This particular classroom, which students can earn a credit for, lacks a studio area, an area so they can do some of the work they need to do to continue to be the best. Even though they don't have the best of the best, they still are able to be one of the best in the country with what they've got. You know, you might see a section that a coat of paint might work, but we continue to add coats of paint for 50 years in this building. You would like a kid to be able to walk into school and not have to worry about a bug or worry about leaks, worry about mold, because some of our kids may have to deal with that at home, and they shouldn't have to walk into a building and then deal with it also. Maybe they would want to get out of bed in the mornings and come to school if they didn't have that issue. And I think that would be a big boost for morale to some of our kids that may have to put up with that, and maybe make them want to do better than they have been. In my opinion, from what I've heard and seen, you know, there was 2 summers ago that we had literally 10 kids decide to go to Williamson County instead of coming into this building because of what this building looked like. They didn't ask about the grades, your AP classes or anything. They looked at the building. So I know if somebody's on the outside looking in, the first thing they're going to see is, where's my child going to go to school? There's no doubt in my mind that a newer building here would help future businesses want to come to Columbia.
Columbia Central's legacy lives on through the thousands of graduates from over the past 50 years. Many of those that stand in leadership positions today have passed through the halls of this hallowed institution. It is now time to prepare new halls and classrooms for future generations. Columbia Central's current location is ideal in that it's close to vital services in case of a major emergency, but also is in proximity to Murray County Park, Lindsey Nelson Stadium, and Columbia State Community College. We need our county's flagship high school to be an outward and visible beacon of our own excellence that is not just occurring at Columbia Central, but in Murray County as a whole. A new Central High School will not only benefit our community and new industries looking to relocate, but also help provide a better quality of education for students for the next 50 years. The funding for the rebuilding of Columbia Central High is currently being discussed by the Murray County Commission. Please let your voice be heard and reach out to your county commissioners and let them know how important it is to you to build tomorrow's Central High School and the future of Murray County.